Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Too many E's and vowels for a bingo. But I think this rack is too good to change. So I can play woe for 12. Wow, more E's. But still no bingo, not a 7 anyway. How about the floaters? Not seeing anything with the W. Well, the other two are vowels. And no scoring tiles, so I'm going to struggle to score with this rack, but it's too good to change. I'm probably looking at just a two-letter play because the rack is so bingo-y. So something like EL on the board as it stands. I'll probably be looking to get value from the W since I have no scoring tiles on my rack. So a play of Lee might be possible. Wow, great start for opponents. 71-point bingo and a good spot. What do I have? 3 new floaters to consider. What about an A? No, not seeing anything. How about an I? No. And the R doesn't look promising. Is there really nothing here? And the 2-letter sets AW, NO. I could have the non-prefix. And TE. TE looks promising, but that's 4 E's. And I can't see anything beginning telly, which is the obvious prefix. So not seeing anything. I'm minded to play eel to take out this spot as a scoring spot. Opponent could put an F under the I, but also keeps the board open and a decent rack leave. I'm going with this. And more E's, absolutely ridiculous. I've already played 3 and 2 on my rack. Slightly different from the last rack, I've drawn another S. So what about the floating I? Does that make a bingo? What about rainless? Well, that doesn't go, but it feels like it might be an anagram of a word which is good. So I've got the ness and the less ending. And the floating L not useful given that I have an L on my rack. Let me come back to TE. That looked the most promising of the 2-letter sets. So if I ignore one of the S's, do I have an 8 with what's left? No, I don't think I do. And no new floaters for opponent. So do I have a double-double in column 11? And if I had a less ending, I would have REN. No, and a ness ending, ELR. No, so I'm not seeing a bingo in column 11. And I'm not seeing a double-double of any sort, so not good. I may have to let one of these S's go fairly cheaply. All is good. I don't want to provide an easy scoring spot for opponent. So I could play Sal here, which isn't great. Psi only takes a P in front. Lie takes nothing, but I'm not providing anything for opponent. And I'm keeping a decent rack leave, and there are definitely bingo lanes on the board. AWS not good. I am going with this. Okay, so finally, do I have a bingo? I have Tunners, which plays in row. Ooh, it doesn't play in row. Yes, it does, making or, nor, and TES. So that plays. And it also plays in row J, because rems is good. Through an E, I would have tenoners and enterons. What about the L? Not seeing anything with that. I no longer have the less and ness endings. So TE still available, but not seeing anything through that. And it would have to begin TE, and it would be face value and provide access to a triple word square. So that isn't a great place to look. What about NO? I have the non-beginning. Not seeing anything. Opponent taking a while with this play. If he doesn't bingo and I do, I could be back in business. So I've got tonners and saw. I've got tonners with a 3-tile overlap, and I've also got tonners in row J. So hopefully one of those will remain available, but if opponent plays in row I, they could all go. And without a floating E, I may not have an 8. I don't think dumb takes an S. I think it takes A and P and B. I'm just wondering if Tunners has an anagram. It does, Stone-urn. Okay. So Stone-urn and Orn, Stone-urn and Gnaw. And also the 3-tile overlap works with Stone-urn as well. So opponent burning up some time on this move. Are they about to bingo? Column 11 still available as a double-double lane. And R looks the most likely tile to go between EA and D. But I don't have anything on this rack, but I need to bear that in mind for future reference, because that could be a 40 or 50 point spot. So, given a choice, where would I play? I think row J, it provides no bingo floaters for opponent, and I think it's going to score the most as well. Actually, it won't score the most, but opponent's play has, great, only 7 points. Well, I think that's made my decision easy. It suggests they're very close to a bingo. So I think this is the best spot for 70. Pretty good. I would have Policier onto an R. Not seeing anything with the L. Just pausing there. What about policy with double L, IC, IE? That might be good. Wow, that would be immense. I would have a choice of where to play it, and I'd probably play it lower down to avoid putting an O next to this triple letter square. But will it stay available? And is it good? We'll find out. Opponent burns a blank for 47. Difficult to infer that he's got the other blank, but he may do. So policy for 63. Yes, it is good. Fantastic. And not a bad pickup, and I now lead by 20. So, balance rack. Agoutis, I have Agoutis. Does that play? Door takes an A in front. Agoutis does play in row L. And row N to make policies. Pretty unlucky if both of those spots are blocked. So which would I prefer? Agoutis is going to score most in row N, but stick an A above this triple word square. Well, opponents made the choice a little easier by taking out the spot I had in mind. Has he provided anything new? No, I don't think so. I think it's not putting the A where I said it was. Yeah, it's one to the right. Agoutis for 87. And I now lead by 90, so a bit of a turnaround. And I have an A for going in front of door. I have a scoring tile in the J, but I can't get that doubled. Opponent comes back into it. Only 4 points between us and a blank still to come. Is there anywhere good for the J? Well, I have jam in row M. That doesn't feel great. Is there anywhere for J? J-A-Y. Dex takes a Y. So I have J above BE, but that doesn't get doubled. What about playing jam down here? Well, what about playing J down here? 33 points, decent rack leave. I don't think the Y is worth hanging on to for Dexy. Do I have any alternatives to J? Any way of getting the J in third place? Don't think so. I have Majlis and Medjlis on my rack onto an S. E of Bigerd, quite dangerous as a bingo-y floater, but still quite a lot of non-bingo-y tiles to come. Look at the right-hand side here. U, V, W, Y, Z and Q, all non-bingo-y. Still both Fs to come. I am going with J. Well, I draw a selection of those ghastly tiles. How unfortunate. Great, opponent blocks bingo lanes and trails. So, what am I going to do about this? Not easy. Firstly, is there anywhere for the Q? Well, there is, and it's not a bad spot. It's Chi and Id, and it takes out row E. 2 A's to come. Only 17 points. I've also got Chi with an I in policy. No R for Vezir. I've got Zia, but that doesn't score very much. Well, it's tight. I don't like the number of consonants I'm keeping, or many of which benefit from vowels. Let me check the remaining vowels. 11 out of 29, slightly vowel dry. But this does have strategic merit. Opponent can basically score nothing off QI unless he's got something like Talak. But there are no L's to come. I don't feel great about this play because the rack leave is so grim and the score is small. But I am getting rid of the Q. Are there any Q spots I've overlooked? No, I don't think so. The rest of the tiles don't go well with a Q. I would consider an alternative with if I could get maybe 30 or 40 points with the Z. Something UZ perhaps. Not seeing anything. No, not seeing anywhere great for the Z. 12 minutes on my clock. I'm going with Chi. Well, I do draw another S, or an S and a vowel, which is good. Should give me more options with the Z. And the O can go in front of the P of policy. Opponent plays quickly. Wow, and he did have an A. Wow, and he burns 2 vowels. That's alarming. It suggests he's got more vowels on his rack and the number of vowels in the bag is low. But can I keep scoring? ZE is good. But no ZEU plays. That's a shame. No 5-letter Z plays ending in O. I could just play ZEA. That provides pretty much nothing for opponent and preserves my precious vowels. Do I have something similar through the E, which ends something I don't. I hope I'm not missing a big Z play here. Mid is good, so I could play Moz, But I don't think that's better than Zia. I think I play it slowly and I play it tight. I've got 11 minutes and I've got a lead. It's opponent who needs to break out. I am going with this. Well, I draw a non-bingo-y consonant, but that's not really surprising. Remaining tiles looking a little more bingo-y with the Q and the Z out of the way. If you look at the right down the bottom, just V, W and Y to come. I'm still not seeing a 5-letter O play. That's not going to be a dream play because it will provide 2 floaters and access to the triple word square, but it's just that this is a board with very few candidate spots. Oh wow, opponent plays off 2 vowels. Let me count the remaining vowels. 6 out of 22. Okay, so still some to come. Now, I do have consonants for going next to ID, but I'd still like to hang on to what I've got. Is flum good? I don't think it is, but it would be a great play if it is. It's not. Okay, that's a shame. What is good is flu. 28 points, that's a lot on this board. I'm preserving a vowel. I'm preserving the S. And I'm stopping opponent from sticking a consonant next to this E. And I'm providing absolutely nothing. Well, I could just play FLU, hanging on to the E. That's better. That's only costing me 4 points. I think that's worth doing. And look at this lead. It's nearly 40 points. And after flu, it's going to be 60. Great, and I'm glad I hung on to that E. If I'd played it, I would almost certainly have drawn another consonant. Now, 2 Vs. Opponent, interesting. Opponent plays Sid, so he's probably got the last A. Yeah, nice play by opponent. Not much I can do about that. And I was thinking about playing down there last turn. Oh well, I still like the points for flu. What can I do with 2 Vs? It would be nice to play them both off. They don't suit this board at all. Well, I can't see a way of doing that, but I can play V and the M for 15. Wow, and I draw G and W. Opponent could well be homing in on a bingo, and that could... And he has! Wow, there it goes. Brutal. 77 points, takes a 6-point lead, 3 tiles in the bag, and now these scoring tiles are going to be good news for opponent. So, 3 tiles left. Ordinarily, one would leave 1 in the bag, but I'm looking at Vow for 33. Opponent can't score much off this. And this is a good score. Is it the right play? I think it is. V and W are pretty clunky on this board. I am going with this. Well, this is it. Final rack. Opponent maybe can go out in 2 and we'll have 2 plays and I will have 1. And he's got to claw back a 27-point deficit. Can he do it? Row H is a possibility through the I. And I'm not seeing anything for my rack. Just nothing. I do have hop, but that's a lame score. But it is a way of getting rid of H and P. And if I do have only 1 play, then getting rid of the high scoring tiles is important. Do I have anything ending OLI? Well, I think I have Tholi. 27 points, interesting. Could be enough to get me over the line. It's all about what opponent can do with his B, K and Y. 8 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time to think this through. And what can I do with my S? Not very much. Not seeing any words which can be pluralized easily. PEGH is good. Should there be a spot? Oh, well, there is. Peg, po, and U. Wow. And that would remain available if opponent played in row H. $32 points. Wow, I think that might be enough. Great, an opponent has played. Well, is it great? I was hoping he would actually use the triple because peg is going to provide access. So, wow, great. Opponent got only 6 for yin, which suggests that opponent has got an out somewhere. He has. He's got Burko in column 14. Let me see if peg is going to outrun that. So I will be on 435. Opponent cannot go out in column 1. I will be 435. Opponent will get 6, 386. Opponent will need 47 to draw. He's only going to get 32 in column 14, and I don't think there's anywhere else. So I think peg is a winning play. Yes. Well, is it 7 minutes? It would be madness to rush this. Does opponent have a separate out? Well, he doesn't. This is a choked board. The only way he could win would be if there was a play in column 1, which I'm setting up for him. But there isn't. It would have to begin with O, and there isn't. So I am going with this. And I think this is going to be enough to win. So I'm expecting Burko to come down. And for that not to be enough. So supposing opponent doesn't go out, well, I have SOT and SH, and opponent does go out. And the final score, 420 for my opponent, 435 for me, a winning margin of 15 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a close one. Only 15 points. It was me to go first, or was it? Yes, it was. So I played woe. I could have played U, which would have had fewer hooks, but it does take an E at the front. I don't think there's much difference between ELOS and double ELS. Now, great opening rack for opponent with anti-air. No bingo for me. But there was a double-double in Lena's, but only 28 points, and it burns the S. What do? I play eel for 11. What do I keep? Wrens. So, is Wrens 17 points better than E? It's going to be jolly close. E must be worth about 0.5, maybe 0. And then Wrens. S worth 8, everything helps it. Wrens, I reckon, is between 15 and 20. And I'm looking to catch up 17, so I think those moves are very close, and I therefore prefer the move with the better rack leave. Opponent's rack plays dumb. And there is now a double-double, scoring a bit more, 32 points. What do? Yeah, I play sell. I think slander probably is the better play here. Does retain the S, which is important. So, yeah, I think that would have been better. Opponent plays door. So opponent plays door, but does not have a monster rack and does not have an A. I now have tonners for 70, and I'm in the lead. Opponent plays roux, and I have policy in 2 spots, just 1 square apart. So, delighted to spot that obscurity. Opponent plays Begurd, and now this is a great pick straight after a bingo. Back-to-back bingos with agoutis for 87, and I've now got an 80 or 90 point lead. But that doesn't last long because opponent gets 80 for tainted. Could have got 12 more points by starting where the E is, Tainted, so a 6-tile overlap. That would have been amazing. My rack, Jambe, I3. Yep, through the B. Gosh, 48 points. I played J for 33. Yeah. Well, Jambe, although it scores well, does provide a way for the board to be open, but it takes out this E, so I think Jambe would have been better. Opponent with a lot of vowels plays Far, and now I have a small lead but a dreadful rack. And I played Chi, and I think that's fine. Wow! This is at a point where there was a vowel shortage in the unseen pool, and opponent has 6 vowels. Plays Eat. Luz. M12. Yeah, that's quite nice. What do? I play Zia for 24, and Luz is nice because this is almost a hotspot with so many big consonants to come. Wow, no bingo here. Opponent plays OU. And now I do take out this spot with Flu. I thought about playing the E, but I was mindful of the vowel shortage. Great rack for opponent, but no bingo lanes. And this is where opponent plays Sid, which was a great play. And there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. So I play Vim. And now opponent moves into the lead with Heparin. So 3 tiles in the bag, and I'm 6 behind. But I have Vow, which is nice because there's no big comeback for opponent using the move I've played. H1 Kyrie. Burko C2. Yeah, I suspect... Well, I've no idea if these are winning plays or not. I think opponent signed his death warrant by getting only 6 points. He really needed to find a way of putting together 2 30-point plays, and I'm not sure if that would have been possible. But I now have Peg. Interesting, because given that opponent can go out, I could have just stuck an S on the end of that. Yeah. Oh well, I think Peg is winning nonetheless, and the opponent may not have found Burko. It is the only out, and if he hadn't, then the S would have been useful. But opponent does find it, and it's not enough, and he loses by 15. And bear in mind that he dropped 12 points through the placement of Tainted, so it could have been a lot closer. Anyway, absolutely super game. I got off to a rough start with opponent bingoing, and I was swamped with 1-point tiles and lots of E's and struggling to score. And then in the middle, I was fortunate to put together a couple of back-to-back bingos in Policy and Agoutis, and then the complexion of the game changed. But actually, what happened was we were then jolly close and in a tight endgame tussle with quite a few high-scoring tiles to play. So lots of challenging racks and great fun. Many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.